The story begins with an immersive scene where the viewer is transported to a setting of unparalleled beauty. The gentle sound of the waves crashing against the rocks, the tropical breeze caressing the face, and the stunning view of a paradisiacal beach with crystal-clear waters. The sun shines brightly, creating golden reflections on the surface of the water. The camera begins with a wide aerial view of the beach, capturing its grandeur and serenity as an invitation for the calm that is to follow. In this perfect setting, the viewer little knows, but what is about to happen will challenge the idea that all paradise is safe. Suddenly, the camera focuses on a familiar figure walking slowly across the sand. Selena Gomez appears in the center of the frame wearing a simple yet sophisticated swimsuit. She has a calm and confident smile, her authentic and relaxed style making it clear that this is not just a day of rest for her, but a moment of true disconnection. Selena, like any human being, needs these spaces of respite, away from the hustle and bustle of the world. Connecting with nature seems to be the main reason for her search for this day by the sea. She's not here just to relax, but to reconnect with herself, away from the cameras and the pressures of everyday life. Selena takes a contemplative look around and begins to speak to the viewer, as if sharing an intimate reflection. Sometimes you just have to step back, take a deep breath, and remember that what really matters is what's happening right here, right now. She's in the moment, completely absorbed by the peace that surrounds her. The camera focuses on her face, capturing an expression of tranquility and contentment as she absorbs the energy of the environment. The tension of everyday life disappears and serenity takes over, conveying a sense that everything is in its right place. But what really generates curiosity here is the idea that we are only at the beginning of something much bigger than a simple day at the beach. The apparent perfection of the moment begins to create a feeling of subtle discomfort. The idyllic setting that Selena has found seems too perfect to be true. A deep peace is established, but with the wild and unpredictable nature around, there is a feeling that something could break this calm. What seemed to be a simple rest gradually transforms into something more complex. Now the viewer is led to ask, will everything Selena seeks truly be found in this paradise? Or is there something else, something unseen, waiting for her arrival, ready to change the course of this seemingly perfect day? The sound of the waves continues softly in the background, but a tension begins to creep into the narrative, leading the audience to question what is to come. With Selena's serenity and connection to her surroundings comes the crucial question, what could possibly shake this peace in such a perfect place? The mystery is already beginning to form. With the tranquility of the beach established, Selena decides to venture a little deeper into what seemed like a perfect day. She, who until then had been soaking up the peace of nature, decides to take on a challenge: surfing. The idea of catching waves in such an idyllic setting seems natural. To her, an expression of her adventurous spirit and search for new experiences. Selena enters the water with a confident smile, determined to conquer the waves with the same grace and lightness she demonstrated on the sand. The viewer watches her with silent anticipation. She seems to be in total harmony with her surroundings, ready to dominate the sea. However, nature, as always, has its own plans. A large and unexpected wave appears, crashing hard and catching Selena by surprise. In a moment of pure instability, she loses her balance and falls from the board. The camera captures her fall in slow motion, the water mixing with her body, and the feeling of momentary failure becomes palpable. The sound of the submerged water, almost muffled, is contrasted with the silence that follows the fall. It is a moment of pure vulnerability where Selena, who until then seemed so at ease in the environment, finds herself challenged by the untamed nature. This moment of failure is a crucial turning point in the narrative. Selena emerges from the sea, and the smile that once dominated her face is now replaced by an expression of frustration. She, like anyone, is not immune to life's adversities. The camera focuses on her face as she takes a deep breath, trying to compose herself. Instead of letting herself be overcome by frustration or shame, she begins to laugh at herself, a genuine, spontaneous laugh. "That's part of the fun," she says to the camera, with a lightness that only someone who knows how to laugh at their own failures can have. This is where the narrative begins to touch on a universal point: the ability to bounce back after a mistake, to rise again in the face of the unexpected. Sometimes life doesn't go as planned, Selena shares with the audience, her voice now more serious but still full of optimism. she sets out on a path of overcoming. No matter how big the challenge, true strength lies in getting up and trying again. The camera follows her back to the board, determination in her eyes. She won't let a giant wave and a fall define her journey as the end. Instead, it becomes a springboard for her next attempt. With newfound confidence, Selena tries again. She adjusts her posture, connects with the waves, and this time, she manages to balance herself, gliding gracefully through the water. The sea, which initially seemed like an unbeatable adversary, is now an ally. The music begins to gain a more intense rhythm, symbolizing Selena's renewed strength. She conquers the wave with a radiant smile, not only for the victory, but for the journey it represents, a reminder that falling is part of the process and that true strength lies in getting back up after each failure. The moment of overcoming goes beyond the simple act of surfing. It becomes a metaphor for life. Each difficulty is a wave that can knock someone down, but it can also push someone to become stronger. The sea, with its immensity and unpredictability, represents life itself. And by facing the sea and getting back up after the fall, Selena symbolizes the resilience that we can all have in the face of challenges. In this moment, the tension of the fall and frustration transforms into a feeling of achievement and empowerment, showing the audience that, in the end, what matters is not how much we fall, but how much we manage to get back up. After the great challenge and overcoming in the sea, Selena returns to the sand with a smile of achievement. The day, which began with a simple desire for tranquility, now turns into a journey of introspection and reflection. As the sun begins to set, dyeing the sky with warm shades of orange and pink, soft and calming music fills the air. Selena sits on the sand with her feet touching the water and looks out at the horizon, completely absorbed by the beauty of the moment. The sound of the waves becomes almost hypnotic, as if nature were inviting her to take a break. To digest everything she has experienced, she looks out at the audience once more and, with a soft and sincere expression, begins to speak about what really matters. I've learned that sometimes we need to slow down, look around, take a deep breath, find true peace within ourselves. The camera focuses on her closely, capturing every nuance of her face as she reflects on what this day at the beach meant to her. The sea, once challenging and imposing, now symbolizes something deeper, the constant change of life and the need to learn to live with these changes. Without losing one's essence, Selena continues, sharing her insights with poignant honesty. Today, I was reminded that no matter how much we try to control everything, life takes its course. And all we can do is accept it. Find beauty in imperfection and remember that it's okay to fall as long as we get back up. Her gaze is fixed on the horizon, as if absorbing the wisdom of the vast ocean before her. The message she shares is clear and powerful. True peace comes not from perfection or the absence of flaws, but from acceptance and the ability to move forward with gratitude. No matter the hardships, the scenery begins to change as the sun sets, leaving behind a magical and serene atmosphere. The beach, once full of energy, is now calm, as if in tune with Selena's feelings. She stands up from the sand, her head held high and her posture relaxed, like someone who has found the peace she has been searching for. The camera follows her as she walks along the shore, her wet swimsuit now reflecting the last rays of the sun, creating an image of calm and confidence. In the distance, the sound of the waves seems to become softer, as a reminder that the journey of self-discovery never ends. As the scene draws to a close, the sense of tranquility intensifies. In the end, that's what we all seek, Selena says, her voice soft and comforting. To find peace, to embrace the journey, and most of all, to be grateful for each moment. The final words echo in the background, making the viewer feel connected to the world of peace and reflection that Selena shared. The camera slowly pulls back to show her walking alone on the beach, the image of someone who has learned to go with the flow of life, to embrace the ups and downs, and to find beauty even in moments of uncertainty before disappearing. The title of the journey appears, Beach Day with Selena Gomez, The Search for Inner Peace. The screen fades to black, and with it, a sense of calm and introspection hangs in the air, leaving the viewer with one final reflection on what it truly means to find peace in the chaos of life.